स्वं बोधमात्रं परिशुद्धतत्त्वं विज्ञाय सङ्घे नृपवच्च सैन्ये तदात्मनैवात्मनि सर्वदा स्थितो विलापय ब्रह्मणि विश्वजातम्।
ऋषिभ्यः हरिः ओम्। उपासकानां यदुपासनीयम् उपात्तवासं वटशाखिमूले तद्धाम दाक्षिण्यजुषा स्वमूर्त्यां जागर्तु चित्ते मम बोधरूपम् अद्राक्षम् अक्षीणदयानिधानम् आचार्यम् आद्यं वटमूलभागे मौनेन मन्दस्मितभूषितेन महर्षिलोकस्य तमोनुदन्तं विद्रावितशेषतमो गणेन मुद्राविशेषेण मुहुर्मुनिनां निरस्य मायां दयया विधत्ते देवो महान् तत्त्वमसीति बोधं ममाद्य देवो वटमूलवासी कृपाविशेषात् कृतसन्निधानः ओंकाररूपाम् उपदिश्य विद्याम् आविद्यगध्वान्तमपाकरोतु श्रुत्यर्थगोचरं वन्दे वाच्यार्थानामगोचरं लक्ष्यार्थवपुषं वन्दे शङ्करं देशिकं गुरुम् अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकम् अहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधियां दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितयाम् अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं। हितमिदम् उपदेशम् आद्रियन्तां विहितनिरस्तसमस्तचित्तदोषाः भवसुख विमुखाः प्रशान्तचित्ताः श्रुतिरसिकाः यतयो मुमुक्षवो ये संसाराध्वनितापभानुकिरणप्रोद्भूतदाहव्यथा खिन्नानां जलकांक्षया मरुभुवि भ्रान्त्या परिभ्राम्यताम् अत्यासन्नसुधाम्बुतिं सुखकरं ब्रह्माद्वयं दर्शयन्ती एषा शङ्करभारती विजयते निर्वाणसन्दायिनी। As the Shankara Jayanti Aradhana, we are continuing Vivekachudamani. I know this is Tiruvannamalai heat is now like samsara heat. So at least the mind should be very cool. The intellect should be very cool. For that we need this jñānam. Yesterday we saw. Now we are in the introduction portion. Guru is opening the topic slowly, very slowly, because it's a text which gives you every detail. So, now the attention is that one has to have this experience of the self or true jñānam. Both are same. And the sign of jñānam is absolute freedom. Freedom from all misery. And Sankaracharya will add one more thing. Sign of jñānam is complete renunciation. Renunciation is not the path for jñānam. Renunciation is the fruit of jñānam. And true renunciation comes from a deep fulfillment within. Very, very profound bliss within. So, that is the sign of spiritual life. You see a yogi, a jnani, what is the sign? Santushtaha, very deeply content. That is how people recognize Ramana Bhagavan. The deep peace, contentment, tripti. Vidyaranya Swami says tripti. Whatever may be outside, it is inwardly, it is tripti. Santushta satatam yogi. See, if you are very happy, that happiness will go to others. You need not give it. There is deep peace within you. It will go to others. Whether you talk or whether you keep quiet, this phenomenon is known to us. Generally, that is why we will go to persons, individuals who have attained that. We may call them saints or we may not even name them. Somehow we like that presence. What is there in that presence? The expression will be different. Something will be Shanti or Ananda. Shanti is peace, Ananda is bliss. You can generally say in a bhakti attitude that Ananda will be more. In jnānam, Shanti will be more abundant. Both are same only. But in the expression it will appear different. So that is the purpose of jnānam. Without that, the mind is wandering. And you have learnt all the books, you have read all the books, the mind is still wandering. It is no use. Mind itself is a restlessness which is planted inside, which is constantly whispering inside that you need more, you need more, you need more. In Ramanacharanatirtha there is one song where Bhagavan says the mind is wandering to see beauty. Beauty is one aspect of truth. The mind is wandering everywhere. Enna paattu? Question. Quarterly examination. Koor sutrulam vidadu unai kandu adangida. The mind is wandering. Oor sutral means it is wandering everywhere. For what? To see beauty. and some place it sees beauty, it will stand there. And to take it away from that spot, more beautiful thing should be shown to it. Like that it will go. But when it beholds the real beauty of God within, Ishvara within, Atma, then it will no more wander. Either beauty or sukham or what else? Security. They have studied before. So security. When you see security, the mind will go and stay there. Now especially the world is like that. In which place the bomb will not fall. So like that. So security. When you see that your own Atma is absolutely secure because it cannot die. Amritam. When you see your own Atma, your own Swarupa is the most beautiful thing. When you find that supreme bliss in your own self, the mind stops its seeking. Yesterday, we spoke about it, Chittavritti Nirodha. Here you need not put any effort to quieten the mind. The mind stops its wandering because it has found what it is seeking. That is jñānam. The samadhi which comes through jñānam is, the mind is a seeker. From time immemorial it is a seeker. It is seeking here, there, in money, in beauty, in pleasures, in security, in health. Everywhere it is seeking. But once it finds that what it is seeking is already there in the source, Bhagavan calls it as heart. When it finds joy in the heart, then no more wandering. Otherwise the mind will wander. Mind will not stop. You can use some artificial method to stop it, but it will wander. Yoga Vasishta says, there is no mind called still mind. If it is still, it is not mind. Nahi chanjalatahinam manaha kvachana vidyate. Nowhere you can see a mind which is still. When it is still, it is not mind. Bhagavan said, self-extroverted is mind. Mind introverted is self. Mind is the symptom of ignorance. Wrong knowledge. So as long as you have not found this source, or at least you do not have this goal. See, you need a goal. Simply telling you have to wake up early morning, you have to meditate. For what? You should be disciplined. For what? When you see the goal, that such a blissful goal is there, you have to attain realization. You have to experience God. When you have a glimpse of the transcendental realm, then you cannot rest in this shallowness. Then you study some book, it will become meaningful. You listen in the satsanga, it becomes really useful. Because now you know for what. Otherwise, father and mother will bring the child to satsanga. It will sit here, look there, look here. Not necessarily a child, some friend also. They will bring. He will sit here. And at last he will say, I will go and sit outside in the terrible sun. Better. And he will say, after satsanga you come. I will wait for you outside. Because he finds it meaningless. Somebody saying something blah 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 blah. And what is this? So it all becomes meaningful when you have what Gita says as vyavasayatmika buddhi. One pointed focus. It arises within. That also you cannot artificially create. That there is a question. Like whether the egg came first or the hen came first. Like that. There is a question whether grace comes first or your effort comes first. Now I am putting the question to you. What is your experience? So many of you have come from very long distance. Generally, how it happens. Somewhere you have a glimpse of a sage, either directly. Mostly directly you have to see a person who is carrying this flame in him. Then by just seeing that, the spark falls in your mind, which might be carrying dry grass. It gets lit. It is quite possible also. Many have come to Tiruvannamalai just by opening a book on Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi somewhere in a bookstall. Many are the stories. Seeing Bhagavan's photo, they recognize. That phenomenon happens because you are carrying that sagehood in your own being. This outer photo or outer book is just a suggestion. It is like a mirror. So, kindling the sagehood inside you is grace. The potential inside you. Potentially we are all realized, illumined. The light is there. There is no one who is not carrying it. Everyone is having it. Outwardly, some book, some person, something, that is actually even to come in contact with that book. It is also grace. Yoga Vasishta says, Yavanna anugrahas sakshad jayate parameshwarat. Till you get the grace of Parameshwara, tavat, till then, Sadgurum Kashit, a true Sadguru. Now we have to write it SAT-Guru, otherwise it will become Sad Guru. Tavat na Sadgurum Kashit, Sat Shastram, true spiritual book you can say. That also you will not come in touch with. Sat Shastram Vapino Labhet. When you are really, ready to wake up, you just touch a spiritual book, you will feel it. It has happened to me. I was only 12 years or 13 years old. Something I was searching in a Alamara. Children, they do that. Something searching, don't know what. Suddenly this book, Bhagavad Gita, fell down. The moment I saw the book, it was as if the feeling was, I know this book. Perhaps, who knows, last Janma, the study was over. So the feeling was like, I know the book. And opening the book for 2 years, reading only second chapter. There was no desire to go to the third chapter, not to read the first chapter. So guided by some Purva Samskara. And what meaning did I understand? Perhaps it is not verbal meaning. In those times, it was not verbal meaning, it was a joy. And the most fascinating thing in that book is, the word Atma. It was like mantra. The word Atma, it was as if like mantra. So with all this Purva Samskara, we come to this world. Videha Prakritilayanam. That Yoga Sutra says, Videha Prakritilaya. In Purva Janma, without attaining the highest, but putting enormous effort, the person gives up his body. But now he comes to this world with all that treasure. And some touch comes, it opens up. Then you know. Then you say, oh, I have not put any effort, it is sheer grace. Kripa. Grace. So that is the first opening. The spiritual opening happens to the person. That is how many people come to Tiruvannamalai. The spiritual opening happens. Pure grace. And if you ask why that grace only for that person, answer we will say, last Janma he has put effort. So is it effort or grace? It is grace. Why grace? Effort. That is why I said what? Yes. That is it. So, whether it is grace or effort, your very effort is grace. And the sign of grace is effort. The sign of grace is you are able to joyfully do sadhana. That is grace. In Tamil there is a song which says, by his grace I am able to worship him. Avan arulale avan taal vanangi. By his grace I am prostrating at his feet. There is one story of Manikkavasagar. He was a minister of a king. Today I am in that mood, so much heat. Vivekachudamani, I find seeing you all, sometimes I feel like going and sleeping. So this Manikkavasagar was a minister. And he was a potential sadhaka, longing for the experience of bhakti, Shivanubhava. And he was a thoroughly read scholar, great scholar. And he was also struggling to realize, trying to find God through various sadhanas. All that he has said in Tiruvachakam. There is no sadhana that I have not tried. Everywhere I failed, he says. Every path I walked and knocked the door and the door did not open. I failed. And one day, so the only sadhana, real sadhana is you keep on longing for it. You don't know how the door will open. So he was going on praying, going on weeping inside, longing for that. Ramakrishna gives an example of a bird which will not drink water from the earth. It will always keep its mouth open, waiting for the celestial water. It will not drink from earth. Like that, the true sadhaka also is not satisfied by reading books, outside things, waiting for the deeper experience. So with that longing, his prarabdha was to be the minister. One of the worst job you can have. Politics. You can see all that reflected in his words also. Bluffing, becoming arrogant, all that comes with that, in that field. He says, Nan yanadu enum mayam kadittavaile nindru. He says, even I cannot avoid bluffing. I have to behave like a minister, as a proud person. In such a worst condition I was, and inwardly, what can I do? I was going on crying, and in that vastu, he says, that thing, that absolute truth which the Vedas are seeking, he himself came before me. And it happened in a mysterious way. One day king himself called him and told him, we have some military necessities, good horses, very majestic horses have come. The seashore, about 100 or 150 miles away. So you go there and buy those horses. So with lot of money, he went. All the while he was thinking, what a life is this? All this business, all this politics, and all shallow people. And so much temptation around. Living in this, I don't know how Lord is going to rescue me from this prison. You know what he gives a beautiful picture, very powerful simile. He says, I am like an ant which is caught in a dry wood. This side also fire, this side also fire. Iru thalai kolli nadu erumbu. That is the simile that he gives. This side also fire, the dry wood, this side also is carrying, the fire is coming towards me. This side also fire is coming towards me. I cannot run either this side or that side. Caught in between. Like that is my life. So in such a situation, tell me, what can we do? What sadhana can you do? You join one course, 1 week. Nothing can be done. And in such a situation, the king tells him, buy the horses. So much of money was given to him. With that, he goes. On the way, they were camping in various places in a village. He was camping with, as a minister. Lot of servants will be there, lot of army men will be there, military men will be there. They were all there. And then, seeing him, one elderly person tells him, you look like a bhakta. And in our village, there is a Mahatma. He is staying here with 1,000 or 3,000? I think 3,000 disciples of him. So go and see him. Hearing those words, he feels very happy. He goes to that village, and there he sees under a tree, the shade of a tree, a sagely being is sitting, just like Bhagavan sitting with one leg down and another leg on his knee, like Dakshinamurti. That sage was sitting there, and all his disciples were around him. Manikkavasagar goes there and does his prostration and looks at that sage. The very moment he says, that old man completely misguided me. Because he told me, come to our village, you can see a Swami, a saint, a sage. But I am not seeing a sage, I am seeing Shiva. He says, he is not wondering at that vision, he is wondering at his own power that has opened up inside him, by which he is able to see that. Shivan avan ena kandanan kanga. He says, it is purely grace that I didn't see a human being there, I see divine there. And the power of that seeing is, the moment he saw Shiva there, he became Shiva. See, such easy, simple is spiritual life. When everyone is pregnant with realization, right time of delivery, it happens. The realization is ready to come out, then he looks at a realized being and recognizes the realization in him, and that very moment he also opens up. This is the mystery of it. Ashcharya, the Upanishad itself says Ashcharyam. Ashcharya means wonder. The greatest wonderful phenomenon is that a mature disciple meets an illumined master. That very moment the disciple also becomes illumined. That simple it is. And the story is, next day morning he was in Samadhi, and next day morning neither the 3,000 disciples were there nor the Guru. The result of seeing that Guru, what happened? This person becomes mad. Lost all worldly sense. He is a minister, spend all government money in building a temple. There, that spot. And what happened? He was put in jail. So, don't be in a haste to get realized. We don't know who will put us in jail. See, realizations and madness has something in common. No? Madness means a person cannot decide that after retirement I can become mad. No. People give you advice, spiritual life at all this after becoming old. After retirement you start your spiritual life. Not now. But a mad person, you cannot advise him. He is mad, and you cannot tell him after your children are grown up, after coming out of your job, you can become mad. When you are free, you can become. No. So, this state, then a great divine drama happened around all that are the part of the story I am not going to tell you. So the thing is, when grace generally happens, in such a way that you have true satsanga. When you meet a sage, the sage inside you wakes up. That then whatever you may do, everything becomes meaningful. Your meditation, your sadhana, your shastra vichara, everything. Without this spiritual goal, you study all the scriptures. There are departments of Sanskrit in universities. There also they teach Upanishads, Brahma Sutra, Bhagavad Gita, everything. But I have never found anyone coming out as Jivan Muktas. They will get first rank. No use. So that is what Sankaracharya says here. Shabda jalam maharanyam chitta brahmana karanam atah prayatnat jnatavyam tattvajnaihi tattvamatmanah. See, we should be very careful about reading books, listening to lectures. All of you have come. Still I am saying this. Too much of words, too much of complex things. It makes the mind wander. Anyway, this is not about spiritual moksha shastra. So many other shastras are there. Now this shloka very much suits to our mobile phone. Shabda jalam. Jalam means magic, illusion. Watching it, it creates a jalam as if it is real. The words, the sound, the ideas, that it constantly bombards your brain. Some cartoon they will show, blah, 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 something goes from the head. Like that, now people are complaining the brain is completely in smoke. Because Shabda Jalam, and the mind will wander in a forest of confusion. Maha Aranyam. Aranyam means forest. You have all kind of information from the world. Perhaps that is why in former days sages, they went to forest to escape from the contagious disease of so much meaningless noise, vikalpa, so many talks, so many words, so many opinions. The mind wanders. Chitta brahmana karanam. The mind wanders. So, it's simply compassion of Sankaracharya, where he says, ataha, hence, prayatnad, with all effort, what should you do? You should find a tattvajna, one who knows the truth, and focus only on that. When you come to Bhagavan, who am I? He has given that. Your focus is only on that teaching. The entire attention is turned towards Atma. Oh, you have to read. You read only those books which will inspire you to go within. Books written by those who are realized sages. During Bhagavan's time, some devotees wanted to start a magazine. His magazine was not there in ashram. Mountain Path was not there at that time. So devotees, some of them very well-meaning people, they wanted to start a magazine. Because Ramakrishna Math, they were having 2 magazines like Vedanta Kesari, Prabuddha Bharata. So too Shivananda Ashram also had, Ananda Ashram also had. So Ramanacharanatirtha, why not we also start a magazine? So they went to Bhagavan and said, Bhagavan, shall we also start a masika, a monthly? Bhagavan kept quiet, didn't answer. They again and again asked Bhagavan. Then Bhagavan asked the person, what will you write? Enna ezhudhuvel? They said, we will write Bhagavan's teachings. How much will you write? Only limited books are available here. How much will you write? No, after that, whatever Bhagavan says, that we will write. Bhagavan said, oh, so you are going to give me work. I have to go on telling things to you so that you can write. Like that, Bhagavan was stopping them from proceeding further. So that person went away. After that, Bhagavan told one of his devotees who was near, you know what will happen? They will write. Then if the subject is over, they will come and ask me. Then I have to go on telling them. If I am not telling, they will start writing themselves. And that also is not enough. They will start bluffing. This is how the truth gets diluted. And those who read those books, they will get confused. So better concentrate on Pramana Grantha, Moksha Shastra. That is what we will say. The Upanishads, or those who are given by sages, and those who will help you in your spiritual pursuit, inspire you to do Atma Vichara, Manana, Nididhyasana, and completely narrow down your attention to this subject. Otherwise, the mind will wander. Too many things to know, to read, the mind will wander. Once Kunju Swami, one of the very sweet disciples of Bhagavan, he felt like going and studying in Kovilur Math. That was, in those days, they used to teach Vedanta in a very beautiful way, very authentic way, Tamil Vedanta. So he decided to go there and study. So he asked Bhagavan permission. Bhagavan said, why do you want to go there? Kunju Swami later on told, if I have told Bhagavan that Bhagavan, I feel like listening and meditating, perhaps Bhagavan would have said yes. But you know what I told Bhagavan? I told Bhagavan, so many devotees are coming here and they are asking me questions from Shastras. If I do not know, they will think, oh, Bhagavan's disciples do not know all these things. Then Bhagavan said, oh, you are going there to get Good name for Bhagavan. It is enough that you turn your mind inward and inquire and find your real nature. What did I do? That is what I did. Whatever you want to get, you will get from this. A guru like Bhagavan is available and you want to go there and study from some scholar, it is utter foolishness. So you need not go anywhere. And once Bhagavan made fun of Kunju Swami also. People, because those who were with Bhagavan, Muruganar was there, Vishwanath Swami was there. Some very close disciples were these few. And they all carried Bhagavan's nature of silence. Many of Bhagavan's devotees, those who were very close with Muruganar, one of the devotee recently also he came here, he told that my father used to take us to Muruganar and make us sit before him. He will be sitting in a bench like this and we will all sit before him. And always he will be in a kind of samadhi, a kind of bhavasthiti. Not a single word he will utter. 1 hour we will sit, sometimes more than that. And his face will always look serious. And that person, that devotee who came here, Ganesh, he said, I used to feel that this uncle is going to fire somebody now. He is so angry. It will look for me like that. Because he will be very emotional, sitting like that. So, after 1 hour, my father will tell him, Shari Swami. He say, okay Swami, we are leaving. So Swami will say, only that sound, nothing else. So Vishwanath Swami also, many devotees they have told that no words, quiet. But simply by acting like that, jñānam will not happen. But Kunju Swami will be going on talking, joking, narrating incidents from Bhagavan's life. All that was very natural to him. And that was very natural. From his younger days he used to do that. So sometimes devotees, they will come to Bhagavan and they will catch hold of Kunju Swami and they will ask him, what did Bhagavan say yesterday? And Kunju Swami will tell that story, what happened yesterday and what Bhagavan spoke, like that. This happened 2 days, 3 days, and that became a parallel satsanga was happening there. So somebody asked Bhagavan, one day someone asked Bhagavan, I want clarity on this subject. Bhagavan said, Bhagavan said, go there, one person is there, blah blah blah. In Tamil we say bada bada bada. Then Kunju Swami said, from that day onwards I kept quiet. So Shabdajalam Maharanyam. You need to listen. You need teaching in the beginning. And it is also good that you spend your time maximum in listening, in contemplation, meditation. That's good. But too much of subjects which will not take you inward, which will make your mind scattered, distracted. Either the satsanga should help you in bhakti, or it should put you in yoga sthiti, or it should constantly remind you tattvamasi. You are the self. You are not the body. You are that nitya shuddha buddha mukta svabhavam brahma. You are that eternal, free, pure self, ever free self. That must be constantly reminded. Every time you recollect that state is there within you. You are reminded of that. So that is true satsanga. So that is what we are in need of. So one has to approach a realized soul, tattvajnani. Here Sankaracharya says, Tattvam janati iti tattvajnaha. Tattvajna means one who knows the tattva. Tattva means what? Brahma, Atma, Chaitanya, God, whatever you may say. And Bhagavan gave another meaning for tattva. What is it? Yes, Ramancharanatirtha Bhagavan said, Tane Tane Tattvam. The I am within you is Tattvam. That which is within you as I am, it is the Tattva. So Tattvajnat Tattvam Atmanaha. The Atma is Tattva. That which is within you as Aham, as I am. To turn towards that, to meditate on that, to hold on to that is Tattvajnanam. And you meet such a Tattvajna and know the Tattvam. What is Tattvam? Truth. Truth about your own real nature. That I am not the body, I am not the mind. What is this I? What is the real nature of this I? And your attention is turned towards that. More and more you contemplate and realize that the real nature of the I is infinite. It is whole. It is pure awareness. It is peace, profound peace, Shanti. You know that, you realize that that is the purpose, goal of life. Then only the ajnana nivartakam, the ignorance will be removed. Because the sole problem is ajnanam. The only disease is ajnanam. And the antidote for that is atma jnanam. Next verse, Sankaracharya says, a serpent, a cobra has bitten the person. And what is that cobra? It is ajnana. And for that you need aushadam, medicine. What medicine? Brahmajnana aushadam. Atmajnana aushadam. Without that, read this book, read that book. We have done all that. And do this sadhana, that sadhana. Every circus we have finished. So that is what Acharya says in next verse. Ajnana sarpadashtasya brahmajnana aushadham vina kimu vedaischa shastraischa kimu mantraihi kim aushadhaihi Ajnana sarpadashtasya. Ajnana sarpa has bitten the person or generally everyone. Now what we are seeking is Brahmajnana aushadham, the medicine of Brahmajnana. Without that, now join one course. Not possible. No time. See, Bhagavata, the story goes like this, that the great king Parikshit, he was cursed by a sage, that on the 7th day, a serpent will swallow you. And the serpent was Takshaka. Takshaka bites, even body is not available. Instant electrocution. Burnt to ashes. So, such a serpent is waiting for you on the 7th day. Why 7th day? Because everyone has only 7 days, right? Sunday, Monday, up to Saturday, 7 days. In these 7 days, any day that serpent can make a visit. This serpent some cockroach, that itself frightens you so much. And what to speak about this? Death. You know, death is there. Old age is there. That is what seeing that Buddha was afraid. This great royal Kshatriya, prince, warrior. He was afraid. He saw that, oh, I will die, my wife will die, old age will come, disease will come. Above all this relationship problem, desire, anger, envy, hatred, all these problems, this stress, this depression, this strain, ego. Life is meaningless if I do not find a solution for this. Then you know what he found? He found that such a golden palace, not one palace, 3 palaces for him. Exclusively for him. Summer, you have a special palace. Winter, another palace. Like that. Rainy season, another palace. His father had arranged all this so that he will not become a monk. That itself worked on him to make him a monk. Because all over. His father helped him in a way, in indirect way. Then he felt that house is on fire. He felt this palace is a place full of fire. To jump out of it. So, when you see that you are in search of the medicine, the antidote for this ignorance, ajnana, avidya, and that antidote is brahmajnana aushadam, atmajnana aushadam. Bhagavan Ramana says, in one of his songs he says, and it is autobiographical, where he says, Arunachala, you rescued me from a sewage. He says the world is sewage. Drainage. You rescued me from there for that grace, that abundant compassion. What can I give you back? Parinil வீழாத ஏழையை காத்து. I was a poor person. No special quality. But you rescued me. Un padathil irutti vaittanaye. You made me sit in that throne. All of the illumined sages, when they attain that, they feel they are not qualified for that. We are speaking about Manikkavasagar. He says, his attainment of that God realization, he says, it is like making a dog, a street dog, sit on a golden throne. That is the example that he gives. Nai shivigai ettavittu. The dog is made to sit on a golden palanquin. Like that you have made me sit here. So the world which you go through, everywhere there are the flame of ignorance, and you want the medicine of realization, jnānam. Instead of that, people give you this, chant this mantram, read that book. I don't want all that. I want to directly wake up now. Kimu vedaisya shastraisya. Why should I study all these Vedas and Shastras and everything? Mantraihi, Aushadaihi, all these, so many mantras, so many medicines, all these things. I don't want all this. Once Bhagavan was in Virupaksha cave. One Swami from who was staying somewhere near Arunachaleshwara temple. So he came to Bhagavan. Bhagavan was in his younger days, very radiant. Slowly people were finding him there, his glory The fragrance was spreading around. So this Swami went there. See, this is a phenomenon in spiritual life. We should be very careful with this phenomenon also. There will be forces around who wants to swallow you, own you. So this Swami went to Bhagavan and said, I was meditating in the Arunachaleshwara temple. And in my meditation, Arunachala appeared. And he also showed you to me. He was telling Bhagavan. And Arunachala told me to go and initiate you with a mantra. This is what that Swami told. Bhagavan said, very simply Bhagavan finished the job. He said, let the Arunachala come to me and tell that. I will receive it. Let the same Arunachala come to me and tell me that I will receive it. Only that much. So, this is it. So, when you want to go beyond the mind, why unnecessarily activate the mind with so many words? So, kimu vedaisya shastraisya kimu mantrehi kimu aushataihi. That doesn't mean you don't want the Vedanta Shastra. This is about distraction, about worldly Shastras, about other books and other Shabda, non-essential things. Don't allow your mind to get scattered in thinking about other things. Be focused. All these verses are to tell us, be focused. Focus your attention on listening, contemplation and meditation. This is the message. We will continue this tomorrow. Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala Shiva, Arunachala. Yato mamatma bhavasi tvameva tato na vachyam mama kinchidasti yathata veshtam kuru mam tathaiva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhajam.